Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the comments. Welcome to today's Spark Chat, and we are starting in 4 minutes max. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Spark Chat. This is where we get clarity, direction, and confidence from real questions and raw insights. How are you all doing? Can everybody hear me? Good evening, Kauthar. How are you doing? Good evening. Today we are going to discuss deeply about stability spectrum. This is something we shared about all through the week in the newsletter, in the blog, in the main character reminder. It was all about the stability spectrum. Welcome everybody. And this is what we are going to be doing today. And I am very excited. Right. Again, welcome to Spark Chat. This is where we get real, raw, and very intentional about personal stability, leadership, and owning our part. Through certain raw insights and raw questions that brings about clarity, direction, and confidence. Let me know in the chat if you are with me, if you can hear me. If you're ready for today's session, let me know in the chat room. Okay, Kauthar is ready. I am ready too. I am very ready. Okay, first thing first, let me welcome you, dear main character. Kindly drop your name, your location, and one emoji that describes how stable you feel right now. Kindly drop that emoji that describes how you feel right now. Drop that emoji that describes how you feel, how stable you feel at this moment. Doesn't have to be something everywhere, it just must be something that speaks to you. Khadija, you feel as if I don't know what name to call this emoji because I don't know the name, but you feel sleepy. All right, no problem if that's what it is. Welcome. Now let's talk about the stability spectrum. The stability spectrum is all about understanding and balancing the different areas of personal stability so that you can thrive no matter what life throws at you. Nobody has promised you ease. Nobody has promised you, smooth sailing of everything that you're doing with your life. Nobody has promised you that, just because you're existing, just because you are doing each day, just because you are doing life the way you think it should be done, that you are free from, the ups and the downs and the slopiness and the roller coaster and, every other ride that life can take you through. But when you understand the stability spectrum and when you start to live each day through that ideology, you learn to build, understand yourself, and balance things as they go through your life. I really do not like the word balance. Yeah. I love to say harmony, because when it is harmonious, even if one is more than the other, it still has a way of working together. But let's say in the case of trying to balance things, understanding the stability spectrum is one way to make sure that you don't fall off the horse too much, and even when you fall off, you do not get hurt too badly. So you don't break your spinal cord. You can break your hand, but you can break your arm, but you don't break your spinal cord. You can break a toe, a leg, but you don't get paralyzed. You don't need amputation. That's what comes with understanding the stability spectrum. And I want to remind you quickly that if one part of your life thrives while the other suffers, you are not stable. If one part of your life is thriving and the other is suffering, I do not need you to put yourself on that list of people that are stable, because you're not. Stability is when no matter how crazy it is, it's still working. So we're at that point where all you need is to understand that you cannot thrive in one place and suffer in the other. People that tell you that you cannot have it all, they are not saying the truth. There is no reality that God has designed that says you cannot have it all. You will decide what you need to do so that you can have it all. So that is my own take. And that is why I'm very, very big on the concept of stability. I'm very, very big on the concept of, making it work for you. Right. Now, let's quickly talk about the 6 areas of stability. And I remember that we spoke about that in the last, blog, some of the blogs ago. And if you have not read any of the blogs, please go to Substack, go read some of those blogs. It's going to be very, very, very instrumental in making more out of what is left of the year 2025. We are going into Q2, and you can't you know just do it anyhow. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Right. So we are going to look at the 6 areas of stability. First is your financial stability. I need you to understand that money is the root of all goodness, not any evil. Money is very key and very important. You need money to make the most out of the life that you have. You need money to attain the many things that you desire. And so, whenever you do not take your financial stability seriously, it's going to affect every single thing. The next thing is your mental stability. Listen, you need to protect your mental space. You need to fortify your mental space so that nothing comes in and tampers with it or destroys it. This is very, very, very key and very important. You need to, at every point in time, protect yourself. My mentor will say something that you have 3 gates that controls everything about your life. You have your eye gate, your ear gate, and your mouth. The ear and the eye They are the one that consume. Whatever it is that they consume majorly is what comes out of the mouth. Now, whatever it is that the eye and the hair consumes actually form your thought process. This thought process will form the actions that you take. The actions that you take will be seen in the things that you say and the things that you do. And that births the so the moment you have this understanding, you want to protect your mental space with everything that you have. Protect it. What exactly are you consuming? I rarely read news, trust me, because the negativity in there is so much that you can just by reading some news every day, you just mentally have issues already. One of people I hold in high esteem was saying something the other day that I think that's the first day that everybody is wounded, either internally or externally. And I'm like, that's the reality. People are wounded. But this wound does not start with, probably stabbing them. It started with their mental space. So you want to make sure that you protect yourself from being wounded. Now, there is physical stability. Whatever it is that you want to do inside your head that you think you can do, if your physical health is not allowing that, you are in trouble. I say that you do not or you cannot do any good work in ill health. If you are ill, if you are sick, if you are not strong enough, if you have, whatever health issues it is, no matter the grand ideas inside your head, it's almost a waste because you do not have the physical tenacity, the physical ability, the physical, structure to actually execute these things. And it just gets harder in that situation. And the next thing is your skill stability. Are you able to, again, hear me well, are you able to learn new things and, even if it's a talent, even if it's something, are you able to turn anything around you into a skill? You see, without a skill, your financial stability is going to have issues. Without a skill, your social stability will have issues. This is very, very important. So, what exactly are the skills that you have? What are those things that you can do? Are you capable of learning new things? Are you capable of relearning and unlearning? This is very important because if not, there is a very big problem. If you are protecting your mental health, you are protecting your physical health, or you are growing the both of them, but they're not translating into anything of value. The skill that you have is that thing of value that you can present to the world, that they can either pay you for, that leads to financial stability, or they can, you can start to influence and impact things from which is under your social stability. In your social stability, what kind of relationships do you have? Who are the people in your life? Are they draining you or they are uplifting you? Are they making it when it is so hard to actually keep going? Who can you call when you know that this going is getting too tough? Who can calm the raging storm in your head, in your mind? Do you just have friends or you have people that have your back and that you have their back too? Social stability is very, very important. It determines a lot of things, a lot in your life. Now, We have your identity stability, and I'm very, very, excited about this one, because your identity is very, very key in your purpose, in your spirituality, and all of that. In even the way you see yourself, in the way you approach your financial, your mental, your physical, your skill, your social stability, the identity is very key. In the way you approach your routine, I see myself as a leader. I identify as a leader. I do not care where you are taking me to. I see myself as a leader and I identify as a leader. And so when I get into a room, I am not expecting anybody to tell me, oh, do this or do that. I am already looking around and look and designing and defining ways I can start to lead the room or lead myself. This is very key and very important. How do you see yourself? I see myself as a leader. I see myself as a Muslim. And so it informs many of the things that I do. It informs the way I show up. It informs the way I talk to myself and I allow people to talk to me. I treat myself and I allow people to treat me. And the fact that I can inform how I am treated actually find a way to translate back into the kind of people in my social circle, the kind of skills that I am acquiring or that I have or that I am, exposing myself to, the kind of mental state that I am at consistently, the kind of financial structure that I am building for myself, the kind of things I do for my physical health. What exactly is your identity? This is very important. Are we still together? Let me know in the chat. Which of this do you think that you are lacking? Which of these do you think that you are very strong at? I am waiting in the chat room. Which do you think you're lacking? And which do you think you are very strong at? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat room. And while we wait on, your comments about that, right? What are the biggest mistakes that you make when it comes to stability? What are the biggest mistakes you make when it comes to stability? The first one is that thinking your success in one area translates into success in every other area. That's not true. That is not true in any way. Because you are financially okay does not mean that you are mentally, physically, socially, that you are even identity stable. You've got to consistently look at every area of that thing called your stability. In this week's newsletter, a meaningful minutes newsletter, I actually, shared with you how to do that, how to measure what is happening with each of your stability. Don't ever think that because you are socially stable, you have friends, you have people that got your back, or you have people that you've got people's back. That means that people get your back. That's a lie. People do not. Things has to happen for you to know if anyone has your back or not. The second thing is focusing on the wrong things at the wrong times. Imagine you are in a situation where you cannot spend, you know, money because you're unable to make money. Or okay, let me say that You are concerned about social stability when you're supposed to be concerned about financial stability. You struggle with, with money, you struggle with cash, you struggle with everything, and you are more concerned up and making money. The fine ignoring the small win signs that something is wrong somewhere. Imagine consistently feeling like an imposter, consistently, seeking external validation before getting anything out of your life. That's a sign that there is something wrong with your identity stability. Imagine not being able to get a job because you don't have a certain skill. That is something wrong with your skill stability. There is something we call skills stacking. And looking at probably a particular path that you want to run, and you look at everything that is needed in that area, and you start to learn about it, and you start to gather those skills. Now imagine knowing the parts you are doing nothing about playing in that area. In identity stability and financial and social stability. So physical, financial identity, that's like four. Please read the last minute to actually calculate these things. You can think, oh, this is where my problem is, but that's not where it is. You know, your physical health might be in shambles. When you realize that I was telling my mom the other day, I said, oh, I want to, go back to the gym. And she was like, what am I gymming? Look at how small I am. And I'm like, it's not about how small I am. Going back to the gym is not about my stature. It's about what do I feel internally. I was telling her, oh, I can't, I noticed that, it's almost impossible for me to say I am walking to a place 1 hour walk. But usually before I can do that. So I was giving her that example. Like, oh, I feel as if I'm also, I'm having to catch my breath a lot whenever it is I want to do anything these days, and I do not like it. Well, according to her, it's not enough, but according to me, I know it's enough. It's enough reason for me to get back to work and get back to working on myself. So you want to consistently look at the things that you think are the things that you think are not important are actually the telling signs that there is a problem. And you see, every single time you keep making these mistakes, you are always, always, always going to pay the task, and it's expensive. It's expensive. See, if you are financially stable, you can cover your needs without constant stress. If you are emotionally stable, things can be happening and you can manage your emotions and they are not going to be the one controlling you. If you are physically stable, your health and your energy, they support every single thing that you want to do. All through this month, I have had a lot of things that require, being out almost every single time. And even despite coming back from whatever the outing is, after just taking a shower, I get back to work and I start doing every other thing again. That means that my energy and my health is supporting my goals. I remember last month I was very sick, but this month, no, we are already at the end of the month, and yes, I have not fallen sick, or I didn't fall sick at all this month for whatever reason. I don't know. But I remember my mentor telling me that, okay, she was asking me about my health last month, and I was like, that one is just a normal monthly thing, Jerry. And she was like, no, you're conditioning your mindset to be okay with being sick. And so you need to start to tell yourself that you are healthy every month. And I started to tell myself that. And that's a form of, identifying that I am doing something wrong with my mental stability and I need to reframe it. And because of that thing that is happening in my mental space, it is actually telling physically, because it's almost like I don't fail at not falling sick. It might not be something major. It might just be, I'm having a headache. Oh, my body is hot. Oh, this is, but something is just going to happen. But since I came into that consciousness, I realized that this month, nothing. And I'm very glad about it. With your social stability, are the relationships you have, are they nurturing or they are draining? Your identity, we can also use spiritual for identity stability, but we can use spiritual, we can use purpose, we can use identity. But do you feel connected to something deeper than the surface level? Your identity connects you with something deeper. I call myself a leader. And so that means that every single time you're going to see me doing, acting, it's always in a place of authority. It might not be overly obvious, but then I have one form of authority or the other based on what is happening in the moment. See, stability is like a table with six legs. If one leg is off, I promise you that the table is not standing well. It's going to wobble, it's going to fall if you're not careful. Hmm? See, go and read this week's Meaningful Minutes newsletter. I shared a lot of things about the tax that you are paying because you're not stable in certain areas of your life. It's very, very important. And I also shared how to measure in numbers. See, don't let anyone lie to you. Anything you cannot measure in number, there is a problem already. Anything you cannot measure in number, there is a problem already. So I shared with you how to actually measure the stability for each level in numbers, right? Just rate yourself 1 to 10 in every of these areas. If you are having 8, you are solid, you just need to be maintaining it. If you are having 4 to 7, you need to put attention to those things before they drop lower. And if you are on 1 to 3, please seek help. Seek help. Seek help. And always, 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 like I like to say it, when people ask me, how are you doing? I say, I am doing it one at a time. Please do it one at a time. Instead of trying to fix all the areas that you think you are lacking, please just, start with the lowest rated area first. If money stress is wrecking your peace and your focus, focus on your financial stability. You are struggling to eat, you're struggling to do, focus on your financial stability. If your emotions are unpredictable, build your emotional stability. If you feel that your brain is showing up one way or the other, build mental stability, do brain dumping, journaling. And journaling does not have to be writing, because someone like myself, I struggle with writing my journals. I can write anything in the world, but you see, journaling, I don't know what it has done to me. So rather than that, I use Journey app, and I can just make a voice note, or I use bullet lists. So that one, I'm not writing paragraphs and my brain starts to feel like there is a problem, or probably I'm trying to write my thesis or dissertation. No, I just put bullets. I did this. Bullet two, I did that. No matter how much they're supposed to be in one sentence, no, just let me be putting like that. And it's easier for me to actually put out a lot of things, right? If you feel that your body is exhausted consistently, you're always gasping for breath, you're unable to take long distance walk, you're unable to stand for a very long time, you're unable to bend for a very long time and all of that, prioritize your physical strength, your physical stability. If you feel that the relationships that you have, they're about to suck the life out of you, please focus on building quality relationships. I say there is a particular short podcast episode I published sometimes, I think 2 years ago, that says that we beware of three kinds of people: the energy vampires, the naysayers, and the dream stealers. You see, energy vampires, and they take away your energy. They just suck it up. When you're around them, they are criticizing, they are complaining, they are cynical. They're just bringing all the negative energy that just makes you feel weak. Run from those people. People that complain a lot, people that are very cynical, people that cannot see any good thing in anything that they do, right? Or anything around them. You don't need those kind of people in your life. And now, if you feel lost, if you feel, directionless, if you feel like you just don't have clarity, please develop your spiritual, your identity, or your purpose stability. It makes it easy for you to start to do something on a track, right? This is very important. So now it's your turn. Drop your questions in the chat room and I am going to answer. Drop your questions in the chat room and I am going to answer. Drop your questions. I am waiting. I am expecting. I am excited for you. Drop your questions. I am very excited to respond to them. Drop your questions, please. I want stability is not perfection. Do not let anybody lie to you. Stability is not perfection. It's not about you having a perfect life. It's about making sure that no part of your life is starving while another is thriving. I guarantee you that you have what it takes to build a solid foundation, one step at a time. Please, it is very important to put this in mind. Another thing is a reminder as a main character of your life, we are going into Q2. Decide on the one pillar that you want to focus on and commit to that one small action that you want to strengthen that area with. Hmm? See, consistency in this case matters more than the intensity. Consistency in this case matters more than the intensity. And so you want to make sure that you are being consistent in what you are building, not just putting all the energy and all of that. Right? Are we still together? Let me know in the chat room. Are we still together? I want to know if we are still together. Okay, I have my first question here, and it says, regarding identity stability, does it also involve having people recognizing you for something physical? For instance, maybe people know you as someone that's always on nose mask or something like that. So it can manifest as anything. But the core of identity stability is what you feel about yourself inside of you. I'm looking for a very simple way to put this. If you stop using nose mask tomorrow, what is going to happen? Will people not recognize you again? Stability is knowing that the impact, the influence, and everything that you have on people is not based on that nose mask. Let's put it that way. Stability is knowing that the life that you have, the recognition that you have gained, and all of that is not based on the nose mask. It's based on most likely the skill that you have, the way you carry yourself, your physical appearance, and all of that. You can decide. See, stability is about the perception you project based on how you feel inside of yourself. With branding, we can decide to craft anything. Your nose mask can be a brand identity. But stability is the actual thing that fuels the brand identity. Why are you using nose mask? I know of somebody who said, oh, he uses nose mask just because, since COVID, he got used to it and then he feels like the air is not so pure and all of that. That's fine. It could be a part of this person's brand. But beyond that physical thing, what exactly is on the inside? That is what identity stability is all about. How do you feel about yourself? If someone talks down at your nose mask, how do you feel? Do you feel like it's not going to remove anything from me? It's you that decide whatever it is that you want to say. Or you feel like, oh my God, I am no longer this, and I don't know what other word to use. But identity stability is beyond that. It's all about being connected to something more than whatever it is that is there in your physical state. You know? So that's it. I hope that answered your question. I hope that answered your question, Khadija. Please let me know. Does it answer your question? Thank you. Thank you. So now, what's the one thing you are committing to fixing in your stability spectrum in Q2? What are you committing to fixing in your stability spectrum in Q2? What are you committing to fixing? Let me know in the chat room so I can come back to this chat to hold you accountable at the end of Q2. Again, let me remind you that stability is not perfection. Stability is not perfection. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have it all figured out. What you need is to get started. What you need is to get started. You don't need to have everything about being stable figured out now. What's your mental space like? What's your physical space like? What's your skill like? What's your social circle like? What's your identity like? This is very, very key. This is very, very important. I am still waiting for your questions. If there is anyone who has any other question, I am here to respond to them. I am here to show up for you. I am here, I am here, I am here. Okay, there's another question here that says that how does someone ensure skill stability? For someone that's constantly learning skills just to better themselves, how does one ensure or know when to take a step back? Okay, so it's not a bad thing, constantly learning new skills. But when you look at the skills that you're learning, how do they stack up for the career that you're deciding or that you want for yourself? How do they stack up? So let me give you an instance. In the last few years, I have been grounded in content creation, writing, public speaking, and all of that. Now that I am transitioning into cybersecurity, what happens is that the place I want to specify in cybersecurity requires the skills of writing, the skill of designing, and the skill of delivery. Because those I'm going to be in contact with are those that need me to be able to present my idea and share whatever it is that I have with them and all of that. And so that means that sit down and list the skills that you have and ask yourself, how do they tie to the future that I am designing for myself? If you think that you cannot, you probably comprehend it all at once, Go to any AI tool and tell it, so I have this, and that set of skills. What career path, or what are the career paths that they fit into? You're going to get various answers. And if none of the answers you got actually fit into what you see for yourself, then you are now going to ask, all right, this is what I envision for myself in the next 5 years. What are the skill sets that I need to develop to excel on this journey? That way, you have taken your confusion and you have brought it back to create a direction for you. So what happens is, by the time you now see the new set of skills, you know, okay, I can now leave this ones. No knowledge is a waste here, but I can now leave this ones and focus on these ones for the things that I am building. Even when the time comes and I don't need them anymore, it is still a good thing that I have them, because somebody else around me might need them. My skill of writing and all of the many skills that I've gathered over the years, they are still relevant till today, but that does not mean that they're every single thing that I need for the new journey that I am on. So try that, that structure, that prompt that I just gave to you, and you're going to understand what you need to put your focus on, what you need to step back on. I hope that answers your question, Kauthar. Does it answer your question, please? Let me know if it answers your question. Okay, this is another question that says, you mentioned something about taking it one step at a time, but is it okay to add duration to building stability in the particular area I am focusing on? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please, please, please. Always add a timeline. I wrote a particular post at a point. I said, it's not about how much time you have. It's about how much time you are giving yourself. Go read my blog post on, time-oriented propeller. You need to understand that you need time, but it's not about the time that you have. It's about the time you're willing to give yourself. It's about the time that you need to give yourself. It's about the one that you're giving, not because you think, oh, I have 24 hours. No. How many hours am I giving myself to get this done? How many days? How many weeks? How many months? How many years? So please, because we said, oh, you have the whole of Q2 to build stability in this, does not mean you have to use the whole of Q2. Because they're still maintaining, even while after building, there's still maintenance. Yeah. So you can say, okay, so I'm giving myself from, half of Q2 to actually build stability in this area. Now, what are the things that I need to do? How do I need to show up? And all of that. So yeah, give yourself time. Don't look at the time that you have. I hope that answers your question, Khadija. Kauthar, I hope my answer to your question was good enough for you too. Was that what you needed, or I should expatiate, or I should touch on something else? Let me know. I hope we're able to end this session in the next 6 minutes. So in the absence of any other question, I am excited to have shared tonight last let me say about an hour now with you. Was nothing short of amazing. I'm just taking you back to this quick reminder that if one part of your life is thriving and the other is suffering, you are not stable. You are not stable. Let me know if you have any other question. Let me know if you have comments. Let me know if you have thoughts to share with us. And while we do that, and while we try to close in the next few minutes, I hope that you take the time to join the main character move masterclass coming up soon. We're going to talk deeply about building. This is very, you're going to see it on the screen now, where to register for the session. Please make sure to be in class to get ready. I'm going to address those that have registered. I have something very, very exciting for you. It's my way of celebrating the new month with you. It's my way of celebrating entering Q2. It's my way of showing up for you as hello everyone. I am back. I am sorry. It all went off. But let me take this question. Okay. This question says, what do we do when those areas of stability start mixing with each other? For instance, let's say I'm building my skill stability and in the process, my financial stability also starts to make progress. That's the goal. That's like the major goal. Yes. You are going to see the effect of this stability on that stability. They're all intertwined. The only reason we had to put a name to everything is so we can identify where the energy is going to and also identify some of the areas that results are also showing up. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. So it's not a bad thing. They are not mixing up. They're just showing you that you are making progress. Do you get it? Whatever stability you are building and you are seeing certain results in some other places, they are showing you that you are making progress, not that they are mixing up. So they won't mess with each other. Right? Now let me answer the next question. Khadija, does that make sense? Khadija again, okay, no problem. So is it okay to then start handling the two together, or I can pick up financial stability from there? So the truth is that anything that affects your finance starts to affect the whole of your life. That's the truth. And so, if you are building your skills, the goal is for you to be able to make more money and do more things for yourself. So, it's okay to start to look at how to do more on both ends, because more money, more problem. That's just life. So, it's okay to start handling them both together, but start with the one with the lowest ranking. And when it starts to improve and you start to see the results in other places, always make sure that you know, okay, yes, I have now gotten into this space too, and let's start going. But don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's like the main thing. Any other question before I say good night to everybody? Any other question? Any other question? So let me know in the chat room, how was this session for you? How was this session for you? Let me know in the comments. How was this session for you? What's your biggest takeaway? Were your questions answered? Do you have anything that we did not touch on? Is there something that you think we would have done better? How was this session for you? Let me know in the chat room. How was this session for you? I am patiently waiting. I am patiently waiting for your comment. How was this session for you? Let me know. Let me know. Share with me what stood out for you, how it has helped you. Let me know. We have 4 people live with us, but we are here to hear anything from our amazing viewers. Right. Okay. It seems like the network is very slow, but that's fine. In the absence of any other question, in the absence of any other comment, I'm very excited to have shared this evening with you again. And until next week, Friday, when we are going to discuss something else, and you know, we are all about answering questions relating to the theme of the week. And so, that means that you are going to receive your main character reminder on Monday. On Tuesday, the blog post is going to go live. You can read, digest, and start to put together your question. On Tuesday, too, the Meaningful Minutes newsletter is going to be right in your inbox, telling you some things that did not get into the blog. And after that, you are able to actually join the Spark Chat session. And in these sessions, we are going to answer your questions. And these answers is going to make sure that you get clarity, direction, and confidence to keep going, to keep building, and to get ready for the many good things that is going to happen in your life. And so, with this, I say thank you so much for joining us on today's session. I am very much excited. Thank you, Khadija Lawal, Khadija Omolara, Kauthar. Thank you, every single person who took the time to join in, who asked questions, who was just here to learn, unlearn, even if they've not found something that actually speaks to them majorly. I'm very excited to have shared this time with you. See you next week, Friday, same time, same place. We are considering changing it to Saturdays, but it's fine. We're going to communicate that on every channel. But please We're excited to have shared this evening with you. I am excited personally, and I am very much excited to actually know what next these questions are going to bed for you. And I hope I have been able to answer your questions. So thank you so much, guys. And I am going to say goodbye here. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God keep you. And God make it easy to stay and be the main character of your life. And until next week, Happy New Month in advance. Madam Mubarak in advance to and to everybody who is going to join this later, who is going to watch this later. Thank you so much for taking the time to actually learn, unlearn, and relearn. And until next time, bye.